Cooper, Theo Coop for short. And today we're going to be reacting off another video. This particular video comes from Pink Book Lesson. If you are, if you are not subscribed to Pink Book, definitely go ahead and check out her channel and give her a subscription. She does phenomenal work, and one of the few women who have channels who are actually holding other women accountable. And she points out the foolishness and calls out the foolishness and doesn't, keep it all under wraps for the sister code. So definitely go check Pink Book Lessons out. But in this particular video, there's a Becky in training, if you will, a Karen in training, if you will. Apparently she's married, and her husband and her husband's father is building her a home, a home for her and her husband. And apparently she gets mad because I guess the house wasn't as clean as she would like it if she came home from work. And instead of talking to her husband and her father-in-law about it, she runs to the internet for validation, and it backfires, to say the least. Very interesting story, and hopefully we can learn a few things and laugh at the same goddamn time. So let's go ahead and get it started.
I'm a little pissy. I get this text from my father-in-law. My father-in-law, not my husband, my father-in-law. I get this.
I'm guessing she's not too thrilled about this.
Mind you, I did not build this house. My husband and my father-in-law built it, mainly my husband. I am very grateful for that.
Ma'am. Stop it. You are not grateful. A grateful woman would not express gratitude for her husband and father-in-law building a house that she's going to benefit from by going online and making them look bad.
And that's why I love Pink Book. She called it out immediately. As soon as she said, I am very grateful, she said, no, you're not, ma'am. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. Why you always lying?
She wasn't going for it. Let's continue.
Doing all this complaining. That's not how you do that. You are very ungrateful and you're out of order. Really quick here, this woman right here, she works outside of the house. Not sure if it's part-time or full-time. Very insignificant because her husband, he's the one who's taking care of her. Her husband, he's building a house for them along with his father. His father is helping out. She tried to minimize his father's role by saying, oh, mostly my husband is the one who built this house. And basically she was only pointing that out because she believed that her father-in-law had no authority to send her this message.
And then just going to get into it here in a second, but the validation, the jumping on social media for validation, even if the thing that you want validation for, you are completely wrong, is just so prevalent in the story. But let's keep it moving.
You're subscribed to this channel. Click the notification bell for all updates, and if you're new, include new subscriber in your comment below, and I'm going to try my best to respond to all of you. A few of you sent this in, and shout out to Think Before You Sleep for capturing this. But let's go ahead and take a look at that text message that she's so upset about. Her father-in-law said, when you get home tonight, I need for you to clean off all of the kitchen counters, put the tools in the utility room, put the trash on the front porch, and sweep and vacuum all of the hard surface floors. That would help Jake and I for tomorrow. Thank you very much in advance. You're the best. She's like, he's not even my husband. My husband is the one who's building this house. He's not really helping that much. Why is he telling me what to do? She wanted to be a brat, so she got online and basically blasted her father-in-law and her husband. She did not want to be a team player. She did not want to wipe off the counters. She did not want to put up the tools, and she did not want to put the trash on the front porch. That's what he was asking for her to do, to tidy up that area. It probably would have taken her 1 hour.
And also, we got to remember that her husband and his father are building them a home. Like, just do your goddamn part, man. Like, you're getting a home built for you. And you're not swinging hammers and putting up drywall or having your ass go 2 stories up on the ladder to put some shingles on the roof. You ain't doing none of that shit. Sweep up a little bit. Stop being lazy. But that's one issue. But the other issue, like Pink Book said, is her running to the internet and telling everybody, putting all their personal business out for the world. And all those same chicks that's going to pat you on the back and validate you on TikTok are not going to be there in real life when shit hits the fan. Let's keep it moving.
I bet she spent more time complaining, talking on TikTok, messaging people and telling everybody about their business, outing her whole family. She spent more time doing that than just cleaning up the space. And of course,
and that's I'm sorry to keep stopping, but that's real too. people kill me with that. Pink Book is 100% right in saying that. People will spend more time complaining about something, whining about something, spend more time trying to use their brain power to think of ways around not doing what actually needs to be done. People would do all these dances instead of just doing what needs to be done and getting it over with. Keep it moving.
Of course, all those people on TikTok, they agreed with her. People saying, don't be a slave. You're not the maid. Why would you be doing this? You have to understand, her husband and his father, they are building the house alone. They don't have a crew. They don't have extra hands on deck. So they're just asking for her to help by.
And if anybody's ever done any type of renovation, I'm in the process of buying my second rental property. Buying a home and or just renovating a home, period, is expensive. My father is a licensed carpenter, and I'm not really too good with my hands, but my father knows what he's doing. But it's just, if I didn't have him, do you know how expensive all this stuff is, man? So you're getting a home built on the low. So be grateful, bitch. But let's keep it moving.
By cleaning up the space. It's not like they wanted her to install new flooring.
But this is what I come home to after working an entire shift on my feet all day that I now have to clean, even though I did not make this mess.
The mess she's talking about is, once again, her husband and her husband's father building her a home. It's not like she went to work and they were sitting at the house frying chicken all day and she walked in the house and slipped on grease. Like, that's not the situation. But of course, she's going to minimize what they're doing while maximizing her frustration and, you know, how large of a burden this has been on herself, you know, the victim mentality.
Now listen, Karen, I don't care what you did all day. It's called sacrificing for your family. Your husband is building a house for the both of you and your future kids. Talking about, look what she came home to. You came home to a house. Do you understand that there are women who would take your position? They would trade spaces with you in a heartbeat. Why are you so ungrateful, American woman? And that's the reason why
American woman.
A lot of white men, they're getting tired of women like this too. She's talking about she don't want to clean up a mess that she didn't make. Oh yeah, you want to take it there? You don't want to clean up a mess that you didn't make, but you're perfectly fine with living in a house that you didn't build?
Bang! Bang! It's good!
That's what she said.
And yeah, it's petty, but she's the one that's really being petty. She took their private text message and shared it online. Do you know almost 7 million people saw this?
That's what I say all the time about people hopping online and like airing out their grievances and saying all kind of crazy shit. People don't think about the long-term ramifications of that. She did all this on TikTok and 7 million people saw that. Just aired her entire family business out for no reason other than validation. She wanted other women to tell her she was right when she wasn't.
And you had people slamming her husband and her father-in-law. She's a liability that got the world in their business.
Look at it. I now have to pick up everything off the floor, all of it. I have to clean this entire island, put all of their tools away, clean the entire, all this, everything off the floor. I have to get all of this. This is sawdust because they decided to cut things inside my house. And I have to get this all done tonight before my husband gets home so I can spend time with him.
Poor little you, it was just so much work. You notice how she quickly took ownership talking about my house.
Yep.
As if it's her house and not their house. But anybody knows when you're building a house or you're renovating a house, you're gonna get sawdust in the house. It's a part of the process.
And I don't know, this is weird because I would never normally say this, but you know how there's a saying like people have, like it's usually about a guy, like people have punchable faces. Like, man, the dude's, he got a real punchable face. I'm not one to insinuate a woman has a punchable face, but if there's a punchable face contest, she's coming in close to first.
So yeah, she vented online. This video got like 7 million views. You had people on there trying to give her advice, which is so funny. But this is her fault. She's the one that got all these people in her business. Oh yeah, and then she came back to thank people for their advice and taking her side against her father-in-law. Take a look.
So last night I did not clean the house, you guys. Really?
She came back to give him an update.
It opened my eyes and made me see that like this was not my problem. It's not my thing. There's so much. I bitched to my husband last night and told him that I was really pissed off. And so I get home today and this is what I come home to. A fully cleaned house. They have a little bit of stuff right here, but that's fine. That's it. They organized all their tools, and I didn't have to do a single thing. Either they got the message that was super disrespectful, or they think I'm completely incompetent and they won't ever ask me to do anything again. Either way, win for me.
And I don't know how you as an adult would be okay with other people just thinking you're incredibly incompetent. Like, even if that was the case, like, how could you just be okay with that? I mean, I understand the fact of not really caring what people think about you, because I have my black belt in that. But I'm just saying, like, being okay with your husband thinking you're just an incompetent person. But what it really is just laziness and a lack of accountability. Like, I'd rather him just think I'm lazy than him actually holding me accountable and making me have to do some things on a regular, consistent basis.
Okay, so she got back on the internet to brag about getting her way. She didn't clean the house. That's because the other unhinged women on TikTok, they convinced her that it wasn't her problem. And that's exactly why she went there anyway. She didn't want to do it, but she wanted to get validation from a group of people telling her that she was doing the right thing by not doing it.
Yep.
She went on to complain to her husband and nagged him into getting her way, gloating in front of millions of people about how she won over her husband. But at what expense? Did she really win? She made her father-in-law look bad in front of the world. She made her husband look bad in front of the world.
Yep.
You had women calling them out, talking about misogyny and slavery. When, by the way, anything that a man tells a woman to do, she's under the impression that that's misogynistic. I mean, anything. And with this woman right here, behind that little sweet voice is an evil woman. Very, very dangerous and a huge liability.
Oh, yeah. Oh, most definitely. And definitely entitled as well.
Just look at the satisfaction that she had when she thought that she won an argument. Women like her, they can't be trusted. She will do and say anything just to win.
This is the update. It's not a good one. It's not a fun one. It actually really sucks.
Anybody smell some humble pie in the air? Let's have a slice.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We had a long conversation a couple days ago, my husband and I, and we've come to the conclusion that the best thing for both of us is for this to end.
Stop the cap. Why you always lying?
No, that's not what happened. No. Y'all had a talk. He set you down and said, this marriage is over. That's what's happened. That's exactly what happened. And more likely what happened was it was his old man in his ear like, you better get rid of that bitch. That's what it is. He seen her bitching on TikTok. Somebody probably put a phone in his old hand and he like, man, what is this? No, this bitch. How many people saw this? Oh, hell no. Jake. Get her the fuck out of here. Jake.
Hey! Jake! Jake!
So we are getting a divorce. We've been separated for the past couple days, obviously. We just have to put the legal actions into motion. But yes, we are getting a divorce.
Dude, she literally obliterated her own marriage, man. She obliterated her own marriage by running a social media, airing their business out, seeking validation from random people behind the screen of a cell phone, and destroyed her own marriage, man. And like, it used to be a dude on YouTube who said, you can't make this shit up, people.
This woman is a complete moron.
Yep.
She told everybody she was looking for an apartment, and sometime that she ended up deleting her TikTok account. She had thousands of followers and millions of views. That video right there, almost 7 million views.
And that's what I can't post the original link for the video because it's gone.
In that last video there, she said they decided to get a divorce. I'm thinking it was her husband and his family that had enough of her, because this can't be the only time that she's acted out like a drama queen. And honestly, she probably was never.
She right. It's not the first time. And, you know, that's on the husband, you know, for not seeing the red flags prior to this. Luckily enough, I don't believe he knocked her up yet. So, dodge the bullet, my man.
Never a wife to begin with, but her husband ignored the red flags and married her anyway. And about the whole construction thing, even if you have an outside construction company working on your home, they will tidy up and put things in order, but you will still have to go behind them sometimes and clean up your house, because nobody's gonna get your home right like you can. But in this case, it wasn't even an outside company. It was her father-in-law, and she said it was her husband as well. So we're talking about a family project. This woman is selfish, entitled, uncooperative, all of that. That's her. And even if she had a problem with them, why broadcast it to the world? Why wreck your home? But hey, I guess that's called empowering women. You know,
and that's it. I could have cut it off a minute ago, but I'll let Pink Book keep preaching. But that's it, man. Like she said, she wrecked her own home. And Mr. Samuels used to say that. A lot of women wrecked their own home, and she did it. She didn't do it in the typical way that Mr. Samuels speaks about. She did it in a completely different way, but that's what it was, hopping on social media and seeking validation from other women. Man, just being on TikTok and those women just say, oh yeah, you the truth girl, and who are they to ask you to do something, yada, 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 yada. Most of them bitches single.
Convincing them to wreck their home.
Most of them are single, and they want you to be just like them. And this woman, you know, she talked herself right out of a marriage and actually did my man a favor. He dodged the bullet. But let me ask her this: is she gonna be able to find another dude who has the means to build her a house from the ground up like like her ex-husband did? It sounds like she just talked herself out of that marriage. But anyway, man, let me know what you guys think. It's the Do Better Podcast. I'm your host, Theo Coop. We out, and yeah, y'all be safe. Peace.